No.
Yeah, so.
You have to speak loud and none of my, microphones might be
Looks like
working.
they're in
So Mark, thanks for coming in. And I know we can't force you to plant trees or shrubs on what's not your property, but, I mean, are you okay with that, or?
Mark
I'm-
Lambert, Subject
yeah,
Management.
thank you.
Commons. Thank you, all members of the council, and I want to hand a special thank you out to staff. Nate has been terrific to work with all through this process. Also, I want to thank my cohorts, Santiago, who has went through planning commission and last time's council, and then my daughter, who's recently passed the bar, sworn in, and pleasure to do that, and is now an attorney with our firm. So I sent my best people.
Good.
And I think we did a pretty good job. Listen, we absolutely get it. Obviously, what makes that site attractive for the use we're proposing is that it is below grade. The challenge that you have in landscaping it is, it's below grade.
Yeah.
So just before the council meeting tonight, we stopped again, we climbed up the hill. There's some cedars that are poking up through that are providing some coverage. There's some sumac that's providing some coverage during the summer. I'm happy to try to zigzag and see what we can do to come up with a good planting plan. Not thrilled about going to the DNR and trying to work out a planting plan. I can imagine that might be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm game. So what my ask is give me the alternate. I'll give you the good faith try to do it. I don't want you guys to see it either, right? I mean, obviously
Yeah.
that's kind of a nuisance. So if we can do it, we'll do it. If we can't, we'll let Nate know we gave it a good faith college try, and you know that we get the best we could.
Very good, thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
So there's a resolution out there, same one as last time?
Yeah, 2023-059.
I move for the approval of resolution 2023-059.
Second.
Motion and second, resolution 2023-059. Motion and second. Any further questions or concerns? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion does carry. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you all.
This was gonna be Kayla's, the precinct boundary change, so are you gonna wing it, or are we gonna bring it back? You're just running tech, okay, so,
I can,
can you? Okay,
I can tell you guys what I know about it. So last year,
Yep.
last year,
Yeah.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
We went to 3 precincts,
Yep,
to kind of spread the load out, right?
yep,
She's really having difficulty getting election judges, so she's, without election judges, we can't have 3 precincts, so she just wants to go back to 2. It's pretty much in a nutshell.
Yeah, good job.
I'll make a motion to go approve that.
I second that.
so this is a specific motion, 2023-62, correct? Okay, so motion and second, 2023-62, establishing 2 precincts and polling places rather than 3 this year. Other questions or concerns? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Very good. Thanks, Ryan.
I'll take the fire equipment too.
Will you? Yeah, I thought Adam would want that.
I can,
All right, turnout equipment.
Lori was gonna zoom in.
Yeah.
With the technical difficulties, I've been texting back and forth with her. So the load on the fire equipment, it is I believe it's a 10-year. The turnout equipment has 10 years on it, am I correct?
Yep.
Shelf life, it's come up on 10 years. It's a budgeted item. The only difference is we're gonna take it out of the safety money instead of the general levy, which was kind of your guidance
Yep,
from the last, work session. So that's the fire gear.
and this is just 65 or plus rather than the 300 plus. So there's still some leftover funds there as well. Okay.
Correct. Yep. Oh, yeah, this is.
This is just,
a small portion.
okay, very good.
Yep.
So
Yeah, go ahead,
the
Kevin.
65,000 from the public safety aid money, that's that bucket of 300,000 that we got.
Yep.
Yes.
Different than ARPA,
Yes, sir.
okay. From the state, that was from Walls's, here you go, here's 300.
So
Okay.
we just need a motion, right, to approve that purchase?
To approve the purchase, yep.
You got a motion?
Bob?
Approve. Move.
Second.
Okay, motion and second, approval of the purchase, 19 sets of new turnout gear. Other questions or concerns? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion does indeed carry. Thank you, Ryan. You want to do the radar purchase too, or Dwight, you gonna take that?
Sure.
Yep, Ryan's doing a great job. So, actually, last week at our department head meeting that we had, Lori had produced a single sheet of paper here that basically broke down at council's direction about where some of these capital pieces of equipment that we're gonna purchase, we're gonna come from using up this ARPA money and the public safety. The public safety is a little more restrictive on what you can use it for. And so at that one is what Lori had directed to take this radars that we have. So currently we have one radar in one of our squad car is that older than 10 years and it's died since then. The technology inside of it's not repairable. We talked to Stalker Radar and they said it's obsolete. 7 to 10 years is the best. You're over 10. And we have several units coming up to be replaced out in the next year. To try to save the city a little bit of money, they were running, I got a kind of an insight from Stalker Radar Corporation stating that in November, they're gonna kind of run a, almost like a Black Friday sale, if you would, where you buy 4, get 1 free. State bid on these things are over $3,400. And being that we have 4 more coming due in the next year, it makes sense to buy these 1 year in advance and use these ARPA monies and buy this all down as well. So that's what our recommendation are. These basically are obsolete and cannot be repaired any longer.
Questions?
So, in addition to getting the Stalker sets to go in, this laser is a one-off?
So
And what
the-
squad would that go in, and what
That
does
is a-
that do that's different than the regular
Correct.
Stalker?
So basically, the units that are in the squad cars are when they're driving around, so to speak, it's off a KA band, it sends out a Doppler signal, and it doesn't target a specific car, where the laser can be used in high traffic areas, in places where we get complaints that maybe on County Road 75, and there's multiple cars, we can use that for specific types of speed. We had put in a request back in somewhere around like 2006, 2007, to be put into a drawing, back in the Safe and Sober type earlier program, which has now been rebranded as TZD, Towards Zero Death. We put in for a kind of a lottery type deal and we were selected for one. We got a custom handheld laser unit back then. Well, again, these are old technology and this thing is not repairable either anymore. So there's not a grant out there right now to get a free one or a lottery system. But this one here is not usable anymore. So as long as they're on sale right now at the same purchase right now, we have these ARPA funds. Talked to Lori about this. It's a great capital equipment to buy that's not gonna come out of the general portion.
Is this one you're talking about handheld?
This one's handheld for the
From
laser.
Squad to squad?
Yeah.
That one would be,
Okay,
yep. And then the
all right.
other ones are mounted in the
Yeah, they're
cars.
fixed.
Correct.
Other questions? I just have one. This is for 2024 purchase?
This would be purchased basically tomorrow. The only reason why we're looking to, so Lori's got more of a breakdown of other equipment that we're looking to buy
Okay.
to spend the ARPA dollars. But by the time we get to approving the final budget in December, this offer will expire.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's other things that we're gonna be bringing to the council too that Lori's done a nice job of divvying up. But that isn't quite as critical as timing. This one's critical because it'll end in November and we'll basically miss the boat. Already, I was contacted by Stalker. There's so many people in the state of Minnesota purchasing new radars under the public safety fund,
Yeah.
where we would normally get them in 35 days, is out to 48 days already.
Okay.
So everybody's kind of jumping on the same bandwagon to update equipment.
Very good. Thank you, Dwight.
Mhm.
So just again, another motion.
I motion that we allow that request to go through.
A second.
Motion and second, purchase 5 new Stalker radar units and 1 handheld. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good, thanks Dwight. We're on 9. This you, Randy?
Yep, that looks like that's me.
Ryan, I meant Ryan. Sorry, Randy.
The other
Ryan's all
R.
over this.
Good evening. As the council may recall, we've been in a preliminary design phase for the Elm Street extension over the last several months. Staff and I have completed the follow-up meetings with the adjacent property owners. I think we reported at, not the last workshop session, but the prior, that we made a slight adjustment in the alignment, particularly by Knight Builders, if you recall, to kind of preserve their parking lot area. And so what I'm displaying on the screen now reflects the latest in that discussion. We're still awaiting, I think, a word back from the vet clinic with respect to their access point off the northwest corner, but regardless, we're at a stage now where we could advance the project from preliminary design to final design. So preparing the final design documents and then to be in a position to go out for bid. So the supplemental letter agreement that's before you this evening is to complete the final design for Elm Street.
Move to approve.
I second.
Motion and second, the agreement to, or execute the professional services agreement, final design phase for the Elm Street Improvement Project. Randy, I have one question. You said the northwest corner for the vet building.
So we've, on all the exhibits that you've seen to this point in time, we've shown providing an access point for them.
Is this something they requested?
Well, this was something that we had included as part of the analysis, and one of the challenges with the road shifting a little bit further south is
Yeah.
the turning movement. So what we've been planning for has been a truck with a trailer, so bringing in horses or, you know, larger animals to the vet. There is some difficulty if you were trying to exit this site and make an eastbound turn without encroaching into the other lane. In fact, I can show you what I'm trying to describe
Well,
here.
then, while you're looking at that, they can come in the normal way they have today, right?
And that's
Yeah,
really,
that's what they're gonna do.
that's
No, but-
exactly what the end result is. We think that they'll be satisfied with their present access since we're not closing
Okay.
Old County Road 133. But does the orange line show up on your
Yep.
screen very well?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can kind of see if a truck tried to make an eastbound turn, they'd have to encroach into that
Holy
opposing
moly.
lane. Now, if they were coming from the other side, they could navigate that turn better, but the net result here is that they may not derive much benefit from having that point of access, and we wanted to circle back with them to see if it was important to them or not. And staff are still awaiting a response from them as to whether they feel it's needed.
I just,
And we did meet with the equine clinic.
Okay.
We're just waiting correspondence from one of their partners. But the Dr. Carlson who we met with, did go through that and,
I mean, I don't mind providing another access, but I just think that's a pretty tight,
It would be,
I mean, I don't
At
know
least-
if it's even feasible that we even add that access based on their turning stuff, turning radiuses. and-
at least with a tractor trailer, if it's a passenger vehicle, it's a little
Yeah.
different story, but
Do we have to if they're not requesting it?
Yeah,
we don't have to.
Okay.
That's correct.
okay.
So that's kind of the status of, but we have met with Goman's,
Bill
Mr. Arndt in Knight Builders, and John Meyer. So
Okay.
What is drawn north of Goleman's building? Is that a retaining pond, a drainage pond?
just make sure I follow where you're looking. This up here, is that what you're describing?
Oh, I'm sorry.
North of
like,
Night Builders?
South
South
of them.
of
Oh,
Night Builders.
So
Yeah.
one of the discussions we've had with Mr. Arndt was that we know because of the new pavement, we're gonna have to provide some additional stormwater treatment. And Mr. Arndt has expressed a desire to sell surplus property on the north side of his site to
Oh.
the city. So we would look to leverage this area for stormwater management, as well as the portion of this triangular piece south of the curve, and use property that the city has already acquired for stormwater management. So this was meant to be a preliminary shape of a stormwater pond.
Gotcha.
Other questions or concerns?
So when is this going to be constructed?
So this would be constructed in 2024, and that'll be maybe a follow-up conversation with the council about the timing of the bidding, but this would coincide with the 2024 construction by Stearns County of Elm Street and County Road 133. So the roundabout. Yep,
All, it
That's-
would all happen at the same time.
correct,
So-
potentially.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Nope.
Randy. So the County 75, County 133, Elm Street Roundabout, and our Elm Street are all one big project.
And
Right.
that won't occur until after the County Road 75 bridge, and that's June
Yeah.
20th.
So that's the other thing. They're not gonna start this until they open up the bridge
Right.
across the river.
Okay.
It's gonna be a mess for a while.
But Elm Street's our local project,
It is. It's
Correct.
us.
whereas 133 is the county, and we
Yes.
might have some skin in the game on that. Correct.
We're coordinating it with them, yes. Other questions or concerns? Motion and second, moving forward with the services agreement, final design phase for 2024 Elm Street improvements. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion does indeed carry. What's left? We done?
That would be you.
Oh, mayor and council, yeah, okay, so I have a couple of things. Let's see. So we found out from League of Minnesota Cities that the Minnesota Earned Sick and Safe Time, ESST, does not apply to elected officials. And again, I'm not sure where they found that, but all employees, yes, but we're, as elected officials, even though we get paid, we're not considered an employee. Okay? This Thursday, Senate Capital Investment Committee's here. We're gonna be asking or going over the sewer main extension. Randy, I assume you're gonna be here?
I'll be there.
Okay, very good. And then we're gonna asking for capital funds for YMCA amenities as well. Sometime in January, well, the APO board requests a special meeting to discuss the Beltline corridor, Southwest Beltline corridor that it's kind of like 494 around the 6 cities. Discuss how local costs are gonna be divided up. So there's a special meeting in January, and they're gonna request 2 people from each jurisdiction. And I'm, whoever we decide to send, but the real crust of this is that 33rd has become like Division Street South. They wanna send a bridge across the Mississippi River. Sauk Rapids, Sartell, the Sauk, St. Joe don't really benefit tremendously, but we verbally agreed to share the cost. And this is, the first shared cost is environmental worksheet or environmental study. So we, the other jurisdiction said, wait, I mean, it's like 3 times what we pay today. It's went from 7,000 to 21,000, and Sauk Rapids and Sartell even worse. So there's gonna be a discussion on if we're gonna pay for it or not pay for it at all, and what's the makeup of the beltway itself. Is it really a beltway, or is it just another Division Street? And how does it impact Way Park and St. Joe? Because I don't really think it's gonna impact us much at all. So it's gonna be a meeting that everybody invited to, but only 2 will represent each jurisdiction. And then after that, they're gonna, I don't know what they're gonna really do, but that could be a very interesting meeting. We should probably dig out the Southwest Beltway documentation and stuff and get you guys a copy of how long it's been going on. It's been like 20, 30 years since we've been
Have they
talking.
thrown out any number,
For,
jurisdictions?
oh, they did, and that's why we said hope.
What kind of number was thrown?
I can get it. I don't recall, but it was like everybody, whatever we're paying today, it's like 3 times that for every jurisdiction.
Just for membership or?
No, this is just for
Do
the,
a study.
to do the study, the environmental study across the river. We had to
Oh,
have to
okay,
increase the
okay,
fees
now
that
I
much.
recall that, yeah.
Yeah, and, I mean, really, it was, even, I think the only one that stayed even was Stearns County because they had prepaid something else. But anyway, so that's coming in January, and the APO meeting is this Thursday, so I'll get more details and come back to you guys about that. Last thing on my list, the CGMC Fall Conference is next week, November 15th to the 17th in Wilmer. If any of you guys are going, I have to go. Any questions, concerns? Staff, anything? Very good. Item 11,
Move to adjourn?
I'll second that.
motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.